tips on how you can be a better intersex ally. When it comes to inclusive language, oftentimes people tend to use phrases like people with penises or people with vaginas rather than saying male and female or men and women. While this can absolutely be inclusive for trans people, unfortunately it's not always the most inclusive language for intersex people. My advice is to use language that focuses on function and not just form. That means focusing on the actual function that you're talking about, such as people who can get pregnant, people who can get other people pregnant, people who are at risk of testicular cancer, and so on and so forth.
That's your real suggestion? That's really at some point, I mean, it's the good old days, bro. Ladies, gentlemen, people in between, people that are more prone to get any testicular cancer, people that are prone to have breast cancer, people that are not prone to have breast cancer, people that are at risk at 23% to have prostate cancer, everybody that have or have not a spleen, everybody that their pancreas is working 30%, everybody, Jesus fucking Christ.
You know what this feels like?
Wow!
You know what this feels like? Good day, colored people. I mean, people who are more at risk for getting high blood pressure and diabetes.
But that includes fat people too.
People who are more at risk for
You're gonna get demonetized.
I can't say that? Okay.
But that was funny though. People that
one because there's one word. It's just so much easier. I'd rather just say something super racist and just come out with a fucking full sentence. Don't lie. Listen, okay, hold on. No.
Hi, Dad.
Hypothetical.
Hi, Dad. Hypothetical. He's my new boyfriend. Is he of this
hypothetical, and I need my black people in the chat to answer. Okay, hypothetical. This is how you know it's gonna be fucked up. I can't even get the words out.
Yes.
Do you? If you have to choose between referred as two choices, people who suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, and food deserts, or which one are you choosing? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, it is me. I mean, I don't like either, but that's one word.
You saying that you lazy? So people that are more prone to suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, and laziness.
I thought you were gonna say lazy. Oh my God. I'm sorry. This is just so ridiculous. I had to counter with some ridiculousness, okay? We're just having laughs. So be easy. Someone in the comments will be like, yo, I'm the type of nigga to let a white girl call him nigga.
Oh, that's for sure.
They definitely gonna say that. And let me be clear, I would never.
Never.
Unless it's part of the race play.
This video is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped has everything you need to keep it clean. And when I'm talking about keeping it clean, I'm talking about under the sea, Little Mermaid, keeping your seashells by the seashore, if you will. First and foremost, you need to trim.
Trim your booty. Trim your booty.
God damn.
We have the Lawnmower 4.0. You can use it underwater. There's a guard for you not to chip your balls, because you don't want to chip them. You know what I mean? You want them nice and clean. Lawnmower submersible.
There's two products that are wonderful too. The crop preserver and the tonic for your crop. Well, the preserver is basically a deodorant. You can't always just put water and soap under your armpits, right? Sometimes you need deodorant. Well, your under your ting-a-ling-ling is the same. You can use the preserver just as a deodorant, and if ever you're on the go, you can use a tonic to have a little freshen up. Snip, snip, let it dry, and you're good to go. And right now you can get 20% off plus international free shipping plus 2 gifts by Manscaped if you go today on manscaped.com and you use promo code PREACH. That's PREACH. You already know what it is.
This is much more inclusive because there are intersex people who are born with a vagina but don't have a uterus or ovaries or an ability to menstruate. This is because some people that are born with a penis don't have testes. So it's much more inclusive to say what you actually mean than it is to use language that works around that.
You know, what's the point of words anymore? What's the point of words? This isn't my wife. This happens to be the first girl I met before I found out there was a great dating market, so now we're married. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that wife? Because it's not inclusive of people who don't want to be married, understand? Or some people who got married too young and actually want to get a divorce. So this term is much more inclusive. Like, what are we talking about? Really?
What's the use? Leave.
I want you guys to peep something. It's always the people who talk about inclusivity and empathy who try to co-opt language and words and try to make everyone curtail to what they want to do, right? They have all these like corny lingo that is just like so nonsensical, but they also have a chorus of people who will never call them on it because those people want their woke points, or they don't want to seem like bad people. And I know because we're in the arts and we've seen it. Bruh. People change the way they talk. People change oh, you can't use this term anymore. It's like, bruh, you guys are pushing it, and it doesn't even make any sense.
Or as I say, losers.
There you go. Yeah. I can't take this shit serious.
No.
I can't take
It's not a thing. Is it a thing? It's not a thing.
What is not a thing?
It's not a thing. She proposed it out there, but it's not a thing. It's not a thing.
Let me ask you something. 15 years ago, there's a bunch of things that weren't a thing. And today, aren't they things?
Bro, I'm trying to say that, and maybe it's not going to be true. All right, that's just me being like, I'm swimming in denial right now. Denial is not just a river in Africa. I'm swimming in it. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. I'm like Dorothy. There you go. I'm Dorothy and Toto, and there's no place like home. There's no place like home. This ain't a thing. This ain't a thing. Clicking my shoes. Ooh, bruh.
I think you only have that stance because you live on the top layer, and as a result, you don't recognize the ways in which you oppress everybody on the bottom 2 layers. And as a result, you just go through life thinking like you don't have to change your language, you don't have to change your use of words, and that's why you're part of the oppression. But the people on the bottom layer, the other layers, the ones who are suffering due to the fact that you won't change your fucking words, listen, I don't personally believe in violence, but I hope you fucking die. Yeah.
Try to avoid using intersex people as a gotcha or a talking point. Unfortunately, it's very common to see intersex people being used as a way to win an argument against transphobes, specifically when they're arguing that there are only 2 genders. It's common to see people say, well, if there are only 2 genders, then what about intersex people?
You know what? I actually agree with her. First off, these people are such a small percentage of the population, like it's barely worth mentioning. And secondly, I think one of the most important things is that their experience is completely different due to a variety of reasons. Maybe it's a matter of genitals. Maybe it's a matter of like, in terms like we can't make decisions based off of that because it's like making every decision with the thought of like, what if the person has no legs? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's okay to create new things to make things accessible, but I wouldn't make every car for people who have no legs. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
You could create technology for them to make cars more accessible. Yeah. I agree, but I wouldn't be like every car should be thoughtful of people with no arms. It's like, nigga, then what about the niggas who got arms who want to use that utility? Like, this is so pointless.
Yeah, that's
right.
What you're saying.
So that's why I agree with her in that regard. Mm-hmm.
As a way of stumping their opponent into agreeing that there are more than 2 genders. Unfortunately, using intersex people as a gotcha in this situation is very harmful and reductive. It's using intersex people, our bodies, and our communities to win an argument, but not giving us any resources, support, or recognition. So the next time you're in an argument against a transphobe, try not to bring up intersex people just to win an argument, especially when you don't provide other support and resources to intersex people in general.
We're gonna watch all their videos? Bro, I cannot.
No?
No.
Why not?
No, I'm good.
She got some good stuff. You don't want to hear more about the ways in which you're living on the top layer?
No. Look at your face. You're just looking for something hot and egregious.
No, I'm really looking at something and I'm debating whether I want to open it.
You really want to? Yeah.
There's one thing that I'm looking at that I'm like, I don't know if I want to open it, but hey, little nigga, let me whisper in your ear, show you a video you might like to watch.
Does PCOS or Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome fall under the intersex umbrella? PCOS is considered a hormonal disorder that affects people who are assigned female at birth. Symptoms of PCOS often include things like an absent or irregular period, thick body and facial hair, oily skin and acne, and other such characteristics. This is because PCOS typically includes hyperandrogenism, or higher levels of testosterone and other androgens. Though it's been a point of contention within the intersex community, many intersex activists are starting to accept the fact that people with things like PCOS and gynecomastia do technically have experiences that fall under the intersex umbrella. A friend of mine and fellow intersex activist Hans Lindahl said something about PCOS that—
That's not what this means. But okay. It doesn't necessarily. You know what?
It's all good. I won't do this to you, bro.
No.
I won't do this to you.
This is not. This is not what that means.
No.
That's not what I means. Yeah, you know, because there's people with polycystic ovary syndrome, they have more facial hair and they have more testosterone, so they fall under. Not necessarily. No, it does. That's not what it means. You can have hot. Oh my God. No, that's not what. No. Two different things.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't understand anything that was happening on screen, so I just wanted to play it for you.
Polycystic ovary syndrome, and then you're no. I refuse.
Yeah. Anyways,
God damn.
hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. This is one of those ones that we don't do very often, but I wanted to check it out.
Oh my God, is that a shortcut? Let me take it for no goddamn reason. Between this subject and that subject, let's go.
They like their umbrellas. I don't know if it's raining over there, but they like their umbrellas.
Okay, little Rihanna, calm down.
LGBTQIA 222 plus.
LGBTQ.
That's a lot. That's a lot under one umbrella.
Yeah, that's a big ass umbrella. Ella, AA.
Everybody getting wet. Nobody getting. If we be honest, everybody getting wet.
Yeah.
Nobody getting no protection.
Nobody's getting dry.
No.